Talk about some dry weather for tomorrow, which I think most of us would be happy about. Looks like tomorrow should be a pretty nice day. We are watching for another chance for some severe weather Tuesday night and again early Wednesday morning. Could be some strong storms, wind, hail, maybe even an isolated tornado. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And then we are talking about some cooler weather coming for the end of the week, as well as some drier conditions. Right now, Storm Team Digital Doppler showing you we've got no rain currently across the area. We did have some hailstorms earlier today across Ballard County and McCracken County, where we had hail upwards of 1 to as much as 1 1/4 inches in diameter, almost to the size of golf balls. Tonight, big storms flaring up across northeastern Kansas, although notice this now beginning to fizzle. Now the big heavy rainmakers are setting up across southeastern Nebraska as well as southern Iowa, and these are drifting off to the northeast, maybe starting to shift a little to the east now, where there is a tornado watch in effect. Now, I mentioned earlier in the newscast, last night we had storms firing across eastern Kansas, and then these moved due east across the state of Missouri. I think these are far enough north we should not have to deal with them around here. They should stay generally along or just north of I-70. Here's precision cast as we go through the overnight hours. Mainly clear to partly cloudy skies by morning. A few clouds trying to stick around the region. I think by afternoon we'll start to see skies thinning out. We'll turn mostly sunny by afternoon. Winds will be a little brisk though out of the south-southwest at 5 to 15, maybe even as much as 18 miles per hour. A slight risk for severe weather in this area in yellow through 7 a.m. according to the Storm Prediction Center. I think they're still keeping an eye to see if these storms were to flare up to the northwest and then dive southeast. Again, I think this mainly stays to our north, so we shouldn't have anything to worry about by morning. Temperatures as of 10 o'clock ranging from 73 degrees in Mount Vernon, 81 degrees in Farmington, 84 still in Malden. We take a live look outside right now. We've got pretty quiet conditions over Cape Girardeau looking towards the Bill Emerson Memorial Bridge. Right now at the airport, we've got 80 degrees. Winds are out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Just under an inch of rain fell in our gauge from those heavy rains this morning. Tonight, we'll see our temperatures dropping off into the mid-60s to lower and even almost mid-70s down across northwestern Tennessee. Tomorrow, we'll see temperatures kind of summer-like out there. Highs will be generally in the lower 90s to almost mid-90s, and I mentioned those winds will be a little gusty. We are watching another storm complex developing out to the west. This is the one coming in for Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now, moving into the Rocky Mountains, it will begin to move out of there and bring us a couple waves of showers and thunderstorms. Here's our precision cast model, and you can see tomorrow thunderstorms out to the west and also up across Iowa. And then as we go through the day Tuesday, you'll notice the storms just blossoming in the late afternoon and into the evening, and then still some storms around here during Wednesday morning, and then we should start drying out by Wednesday afternoon. So no threat of severe weather around here tomorrow. That'll stay to our north and to our west, and especially to our northwest. And then we'll have to deal with a chance for some severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe weather, including parts of southern Illinois and parts of southeast Missouri. That's from Tuesday morning through Wednesday morning. I want to remind you, you can still pick up a Storm Team weather radio at one of our Orchland locations. You can get it for $29.99. That's only available for another week and a half. 89 degrees by Tuesday, 83 Wednesday. Temperatures cooling off pretty nice by the end of the week. 80 degrees by Friday, and we're back into the lower to mid-80s as we head into the weekend. Here's Precision Cast starting at 12:30. You'll see the snow continuing to push off to the east. I'm looking at some other data that's just coming in. It's appearing that the snow will begin to move out of southeast Missouri by around 5 or 6 o'clock this evening. And then it'll keep pushing eastward quickly. It should be out of western Kentucky by around 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, and then it'll be out of here. So that would be the end time of the snow from west to east. As far as amounts so far being reported in via the National Weather Service, Weather Watchers, Facebook, and Twitter, anywhere from 1 inch of snow for our far northern counties. I've only measured a ½ inch of snow in downtown Cape Girardeau, ½ inch reported in Chaffee, 1.5 out in Piedmont and Annapolis, and then you get down further south, and that's where we've got more snow. 2.5 inches in Clarkton. I just saw a new report coming in of an estimated 3 inches of snow in Kennett, estimated 1 inch in Haytide, 2 inches in Obion, also Union City, 1.5 inches in Murray, and 1.8 right now in Mayfield. As to how much snow more we could see, northern counties not seeing a whole lot more. Southern counties we could still see several more inches of snow. We'll zoom in and then pick a spot next to where you live, and you'll get an idea how much more additional snow we're talking about. So perhaps another 2.5 inches of snow in Kennett, 2.5 inches of snow in Haytide, maybe another 2 inches in New Madrid, 2.1 in Union City, 2.3 in Murray, and 2.1 inches in Mayfield. So grand total, some places could see upwards of 5, maybe as high as 6 inches of snow in a few localized areas. Live Guardian radar tonight showing you a lot of rain across central Indiana, northern Indiana, and south central Indiana as well. It's been slow to move from southwest to northeast. One thing I want you to note, Not a lot back behind it. There are some scattered showers out there, but this is the main precip shield we are watching moving across the state. We'll zoom into a few other locations. In fact, you can see right now our rainfall totals are indicating anywhere over 2 inches now towards Peru, 2.07, 1.3 in Indianapolis, and now almost just under 2 inches of rain in Bloomington tonight. We've also had some rumbles of thunder reported in some locations. Here's our Fox Futurecast going through the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow. Now, by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, notice what it's showing. An additional rainfall from what we already have. So almost a little over 1 inch more in Carmel, down towards Columbus, perhaps another 3 inches of rainfall for you. Over towards Covington, 1 inch. Also over towards Rushville, we could see perhaps another 3 inches of rain. Now, I'm not concerned too much about flash flooding tonight because right now the latest guidance is indicating you would need about 3 inches or so of rain to fall in about a 3-hour window. And I don't think we're going to see that heavy of rain fall across the area tonight. So the good news is no flash flooding, just some good soaking rains coming down. There also could be some rumbles of thunder. We have had some lightning strikes down across the south central part of the state, down just to the west of Shelbyville, also down towards Columbus and Bloomington, places down towards Bedford, also hearing some rumbles of thunder tonight. You can see in the big picture, this upper level low right back here across northwestern Illinois continues to churn. In fact, is slowly moving back to the west somewhat. Ahead of it, we're seeing all this warm, moist air coming up ahead of it and popping all these showers and thunderstorms. Earlier tonight, we actually had tornado watches across portions of Arkansas, Tennessee, as well as portions of Mississippi. No storms like that expected tonight, just a few rumbles of thunder and that heavy rain continuing. Expected, we've got snow moving across the area today. Now, as you see on the radar imagery over the last 3 hours, it continues to push east. Far northern counties not seeing a whole lot. I've seen some reports of up to 1 inch, and that's about it. It's a very fluffy snow. It's very cold outside, so the snow ratios today are very high. Typically, you might hear us talk about a 10-to-1 average. Today, I think we're talking more likely a 16-to-1 to maybe upwards of just around 20-to-1. So it's very fluffy snow. Now, look back to the west, and you'll see there are some trends on the radar showing that we've got some drying taking place across south central Missouri, and that now is beginning to move into portions of Ripley County, Carter County, as well as portions of Reynolds County. There is some more snow on the back edge of this, but there could be a bit of a drying trend, at least for a few hours, as this continues to push off to the east. Notice back to the southwest, though, a lot more snow still across central and western Arkansas, and this will keep pushing off to the east, and that's why we're going to deal with snow, at least for the Missouri Boot Heel and northwestern Tennessee for the next several hours. Winter storm warnings are in effect for pretty much all of Arkansas, portions of southwestern Missouri, now including in the KFVS viewing area, northeastern Arkansas, the Missouri Boot Heel, northwestern Tennessee.